Okay, so we will start today. Our topic is Java inheritance. So in our last session, what we had covered class and object, method overloading, constructors, static keywords. So that was the chapter of Java class and object. So now in object oriented programming context, the next topic is Java inheritance, so that we have to complete. So first of all, I am writing some points, then I will explain. So inheritance is one of the important feature of object oriented programming. The process in which the properties of one class is transferring to another class is known as inheritance. The properties are transferring from which class is known as superclass. Superclass, or it is also called as parent class. The class which is derived from superclass is known as subclass, or it is also called a child class. So what is the advantage of inheritance? Why inheritance? It provides the concept of reusability, which is the main advantage. Which is the main advantage. Okay, so I will explain what exactly the term reusability means. In inheritance context, in this context, we create subclass by using one keyword I will use, that is extends keyword. Extends keyword. Some points I wrote about inheritance. So one class property. So there is a one class and there is another class. Okay. So let this class name is A. Let this class name is B. So one class property, if the class B is able to access the property of A. So what do you mean by property? From the beginning, Bithal, I have given the clarity. Class property means what? Whatever a class is containing. So basically a class containing data or method or data and method. So whatever anything is present inside a class, basically we say that is class property. So there is a superclass and there is a subclass, or we can say there is a parent class and there is a child class. So if the class V can access the property of A class, so we can say B is subclass and A is superclass. So we can say this is superclass, and here I can say this is subclass. So now directly we will go to the practical point of view. So how to represent a parent class and how to represent a child class and how we will represent the program is an inheritance program. So I will go to my compiler. Let I will define a class. Let's suppose class A. Okay. Then suppose I have one method. Let the method name is M1. Suppose one statement. Suppose I am writing system.out.println. Let I will write Java inheritance. Let it Java programming. Or I will write let Java superclass. Whatever you can write message. Now M1 method definition. M1 method definition is nothing but one output statement. So this M1 method definition, it is the property of class A. So whatever anything is present within curly bracket begin and curly bracket end, whatever anything is present, that is the property of that class. Now I will create a subclass. Now I will create a child class. So how I will create? So class, let class name, I will take a class name of the class is B. Extends, there is a keyword extends we have written. So extends keyword meant for inheritance. Particularly in inheritance context we use this keyword. So class name extends, then after extends keyword whatever the class name we are representing, so that is superclass. Before extends keyword whatever the class name I am presenting, that is child class or subclass. Okay, now B is subclass and A is superclass. So A is superclass or a parent class and B is subclass or child class. So overall B is a class. So now I will take another method. Let void M2. So now M2 method definition is the property of B class. System.out.println. Okay, let Java subclass. First one is Java superclass. Let this is Java subclass. Now M2 method definition is the property of a B class. Now M1 method definition is the property of A class. Okay, now we have two classes. One is A class, another is B class. A class have property, B class have also property. Now I will go to main method. Let my class name is suppose inheritance. Inheritance example 1. Let it. So I will go to main method. So what I will do? So here let my file name is the main method present in which class, that class name dot java. Let inheritance example 1. Okay, so this line is important. So basically in this line what we do? In this line we declare the object. So which object I will declare? Because we have two classes. One is A class and one is B class. The inheritance concept is saying with the help of one object we access all the properties, means parent property and child property. So but we have to take one object. Suppose I don't know, suppose whether I will take A class object or I will take a B class object. Suppose linearly we will see. Let class A object, suppose I will take obj equals to new class name. Let I will declare an object of A class. Then after declaration of an object, so what I will do? Object name dot method name. First method is m1, then obj dot m2. So this, in this way I wrote. Now little bit analysis we will do. So basically when m1 method is invoking by the object obj, obj is which type of object? A type of object, means A class object. Class is a type, so that's why we can say obj is a type of object. So when this line will execute, when a method is invoking by the object, then method definition will execute. This is the main mantra of object oriented programming. So in this line there is no problem because m1 method is the property of A class. Obj is the object of A class. So one object, one property, there is no problem. M1 method definition control will go to the M1 method definition. This definition will execute Java superclass. Okay, then coming to the next line, this line. So when M2 method is invoking by the object obj, you see M2 method is the property of B class. Obj is the object of A class. A class means superclass. That means superclass object is trying to access subclass property. The meaning is this. This line is representing what? Superclass object trying to access subclass property, because M2 method definition is the subclass property. Obj is the object of A class. A class is our superclass in our context. So this line, it will give the error. You see first. Now I will hit run. You see first. You see particularly obj.m2 in this line error came in this line. So in this line if error is arising, that means superclass object never access to subclass property. So this note point we got, first note point we got in this context. Superclass object can't access subclass property. Whatever the point we observed, that point I wrote. So, but inheritance concept is saying with the help of one object, we will access all parent and child property. So I saw when I am taking superclass object, so subclass property is not accessing. So what I will do, instead of superclass object, what I will take subclass object. B obj equals to new B. So now we will see. So instead of superclass object, I took subclass object. So B obj equals to new B. Class name, object name equals to new class name. Now I will run. And we will see what the output is coming. You see, happily we got the output Java superclass and Java subclass. So another note point we got, obj.m1 method is the property of superclass, but superclass property is accessing by subclass object. That means subclass object is able to access superclass property. So in this line, so we got this point. And in this line there is no problem because M2 method is the one property, B class property, obj is the B class object. So in this line there is no problem. So I observed, so at the time of object declaration, when we are taking subclass object is able to access superclass property and its own property. So here another note point that I got, what subclass object can access superclass property. So this point we got. So I hope everybody got clarity. Give a response. Okay. So this is one example of inheritance. In inheritance context, there is a superclass and there is a subclass, or we can say there is a parent class and there is a child class, and we saw child class object is able to access parent class property. So at the time of object declaration, always we will take subclass object or child class object. Now, suppose I will go to another example. Let it my example another file. Suppose I am doing. This is my inheritance example 2, and here I am changing my file name. Let this is inheritance example 2.java. Suppose I will write int x. Suppose, okay, now int x. Now this is the property of a class. A class can contain data or method or return method. Currently I was telling whatever anything is present inside a class, that is the class property. Then in B class, suppose I will write int y. Now int y, this is the property of B class. Then in B class, suppose I will define a method. Let void get method. Any method I will define. Now I will write x equals to 100, y equals to 200. Then immediately we will solve. Sir, x, this property is available in A. The property x not available in B. But get method is the property of B class. B is a subclass. But in subclass property, directly we are accessing x. Again, we have assigned a value 100 into x, that is called as initialization. So it is perfectly valid. If it is perfectly valid, so we will get another note point. Subclass property can be able to access superclass property, and it is representing reusability. You see, int x here we have used in A class. Int x, this property x physically not available in B, but since B is a child class, since B is a subclass have that ability to access child class property. So directly I can write x is equal to something. That means inside child class, whatever you want to perform any operation, whatever you want to do by taking superclass property, you can do, there is no problem. So x, the property x we have used here. This x again we are using, so it is called as reusability. Superclass property using in child class but without any physical existence, so that is representing reusability. So here we got another note point. So subclass property can access superclass property. So these are the note points that we observed, that we got. So get method is the subclass property, B class property, B class is subclass. Similarly, I can define another method, because we have to write output statement. So I can write output statement system.out.println. Suppose I will write x equals to the value of x. I will write system.out.println y equals to the value of y. So output statements, it is mandatory that we have to write. So without output statement, output message that will not come to our picture. Okay. So now in a B class, get method we define and show method we define. And get method definition, show method definition, we can say these are the property of B class. So in B class, so object, so currently we studied at the time of object declaration, always subclass object we will declare. Then after object declaration, obj.get method and obj.show method. So in this line there is no problem because get method is the one property. B class property, show method is the B class property. When this line will execute, when method will call, then method definition will execute. So when this line will execute, control will go to this person. So get method definition will execute x equals to 100, y equals to 200. Similarly, after that, when this line will execute, then immediately control will go to execute this person. So method definition will execute, and here, so two output statement. Based on these two output statement, we will get the output x equals to 100, y equals to 200. So now program of file name is inheritance example2.java. Now I will hit run. Okay, so happily we got x equals to 100, y equals to 200. So give a response. I hope you got clarity. So we will go to the next point. I hope you got an idea about superclass, what is subclass, so what subclass can do. So I hope you got the clarity and what is reusability. Then we will go to the next point. Suppose I have a scenario, let here A is my superclass, B is my subclass. Let I will take, suppose int x equals to 100, let it. So this is the property. Here I will write int x equals to 500. So superclass property is x, subclass property is also x. Now I will define a method. Let's my method name is get method. I will write system.out.println x equals to the value of x. Okay, so now I will go to the main method. So I will take a subclass object. Then after object declaration, what we studied, object name dot method name. So we have to call the method. When the method will call by the object, then method definition will execute. Now we this when this line will execute, then this portion will execute. So get method definition body is nothing but one output statement. X equals to the value of x. But the value of x 500 or 100. So which value will come to our picture? So any guess? Because maybe you are thinking subclass object can access superclass property. So here in superclass and subclass property is same. X is the property of superclass. X is the property of B class, subclass. You remember in this context, subclass property will come to our picture in the form of output x equals to 500. If I will hit run, you see, so subclass value that will come. You see, we got x equals to 500. So when we got a point when the property is same in superclass and in subclass, subclass property is coming to our picture. But we will think about that. It is a disadvantage because inheritance concept is saying through subclass object we access all super and subclass property. But this is the scenario where subclass property is coming to our picture, superclass property is not coming to our picture. The developer thought, so in this scenario only subclass property is coming, superclass property is not coming. So how we will access superclass property, particularly in this scenario? So that's why the developer developed a keyword that is super keyword. So it is possible in this scenario we can access superclass property by using super keyword. But where I will use that super keyword? In subclass property. So I will write system.out.println. If I will write x equals to super.x. So using super keyword we can access superclass property, super keyword. Okay, so now you see, I will hit run. You see, I got the output x equals to 100, x equals to 500. So when this line will execute, get method definition will execute. So in this get method definition, to statement to output statement. So when this line will execute, so it is accessing this value, and this is what x equals to 500. So here we discovered or we got a keyword that is super keyword. Hence the point is Java super keyword. So the keyword super that can be used to access superclass variable as super dot variable. The keyword super that can be used to access superclass method as super dot method. The keyword super that can be used to access superclass constructor as this to call to superclass constructor in this way. So 3 points I wrote regarding super keyword. You write the super keyword we can use to access superclass variable, to access superclass method, to access superclass constructor also. Okay, so coming to the point, so we saw one case study. I will go to next example because it is this example is representing for accessing superclass variable. So let I have a class vehicle. So here 2 points at a time I can show you. So let one class, that class name is vehicle. One method I will define. Suppose let my method name is journey. So I can write an output statement system.out.println. So I can write journeying by vehicle. So in this way I can write. So journeying method definition is the property of vehicle class. Let I will create a child class or subclass. Class car extends vehicle. Same method, suppose I will write define system dot out dot println. Suppose I will write journeying by car. Now this is representing what? Method overriding. When a method definition, method and its signature, this is my inheritance example 4, fourth example. So a common interview question, method overloading versus method overriding. Method overloading we have completed in previous chapter. So this is representing method overriding when a method and its definition signature. When a method and its signature, here method having no argument in superclass, and the method and its signature in subclass exactly same. Journeying method, name of the method is journeying, name of the method is journeying. Here journeying method having no argument, here journeying method having no argument. Then the method in subclass is called as overridden method. Is called as overridden method. This is known as method overriding. So again I am repeating. So what is method overriding? When a method and its signature in superclass and the method and its signature in subclass exactly same, then the subclass method is called as overridden method. Now car is the child class, so definitely I will take car class object. Let car C equals to new car. So C dot journeying method. So same concept, superclass property, subclass property exactly same. So when this line will execute, so this subclass property will execute. So output will be journeying by car. You see, now I will run. Okay, so I got the output journeying by car. So to access the superclass property, we use what? Super keyword. So where super keyword we are using? In subclass. So I can write super dot method name journey in this way. So when this line will execute, control will come to this line. Now this line will execute. When this line will execute, control will execute this line. Then this line will execute. Now you see, I will hit run, and what we will get the output. Journeying by vehicle and journeying by. So this example is representing what? To access superclass method using super keyword. Also this example is representing method overriding. So this is, as a fresher, this point is important. Then to call superclass constructor, suppose suppose this is my another example, fifth example. Let here, so inheritance example 5.java. Suppose I have a constructor. Let constructor means class name, constructor name is same, it is a method. So constructor, let, okay, so one constructor, suppose I will write system.out.println. Okay, journeying by vehicle. So one constructor, and so another constructor I will define here. So class name, constructor name must be same. Now this is superclass constructor and this is subclass constructor. Now in subclass constructor I want to call superclass constructor, or I want to access superclass constructor. How? In this way. To access, to call to superclass constructor, so in which way that we will write, this is the way. Then this constructor, car class constructor, I will write a message system dot out dot println, so journey by car. Okay, so now I will go to the object declaration. Since car class is the subclass, so car object I will take. Finish. Because we know that when an object we are declaring, so constructor automatically execute. We have studied, so constructor executes automatically when an object is created. So when this line will execute, first of all the control will check if the class car have constructor or not. If the car class having a constructor, this constructor will execute automatically. So this constructor body is this line and this line. So when this line will execute, so this line representing what? Call to superclass constructor, call to superclass constructor. So when this line will execute, so this portion will execute. When this line will, this is the output statement, journey by car. So now you see I will hit run. So I will get the output. So first output journeying by vehicle and second is journeying by car. So in this way we got the clarity, we got the point. What is the super keyword and what is the purpose of super keyword? The super keyword specifically used to access superclass variable, superclass method and superclass constructor. And in middle we also got a point, what is method overriding. So I hope everybody got the clarity. We will go to the next point, that is final keyword. So the keyword final is a modifier. Basically we say it is a modifier which can be used with a variable, a method and class also. When a variable is declared as final, then the value of that variable is fixed. If you want to change the value, then we will get compile time error. So final variable, the value is fixed. So we cannot change the value of the variable. Suppose if I will write class, let class name, and I will write final int x equals to 100. So this, the value 100 is fixed. We know that variable value may vary at the time of execution, but when the variable we declare as final, so this value is fixed. So at the time of compilation, the compiler directly read value, but anytime the compiler at the time of compilation read data type. So at the runtime the control will read value, But if the variable is declared as final, so at the time of compilation, compiler will read value instead of type. So here the value 100 is fixed. If I want to change, the value, suppose I will write x equals to 100, so it will give error. So it is giving error. So you remember, final variable, the value is fixed. Similarly, when a method is declared as final, then the method can't overridden. So when a method is declared as final, in my last class we have studied what is method overriding, the method and its signature. In superclass, the method and its signature in subclass is exactly same. Then child class subclass method is called as overridden method. So you consider an example, so that is representing method overriding in subclass. Suppose in superclass, if the method, if we will declare as final, then that method in subclass will give the error, because final method, if I will represent as overridden method, so it will give error, because the concept is saying final method never overridden. Similarly, when a class is declared as final, then we can't create a subclass. That means final class cannot be extended. Suppose if I will write final class A, then class B extends A, so it will give error. So once a class we declare as final, we cannot create a subclass from that class. So what we got the point? Final variable, the value is fixed. The value is fixed. Final method, the method cannot be overridden. Final class, we can't create a subclass from a final class. This is all about final keyword. Okay, so then we will go to the next point, that is dynamic method dispatch. In class and object chapter, we have studied method overloading, and that was the example of compile time polymorphism. Now this terminology, dynamic method dispatch, it is an example of runtime polymorphism. What is this? Dynamic means at the runtime or with the help of a reference we are resolving something. Method means here this method is overridden method. When so an overridden method is invoking by a superclass reference. When an overridden method is invoking by superclass reference to perform multiple tasks, okay, in a program, is known as dynamic method dispatch. It is an example of runtime polymorphism. runtime polymorphism. So I will explain, I will show you how this terminology that we are considering as runtime polymorphism. Polymorphism means ability to take more than one form. It is one of the feature of object-oriented programming. So we will see. Practically, we will discuss. I will go to my environment. So first of all, I have to represent method overriding, because this method we have written overridden method. Suppose let class A we have a method, let's show method. I will write one output statement and I will write Java means Silan software. Okay, so this is my class A. So method definition is the A class property. I will create a subclass. Let class AA, double A extends A. Then, so I will define show method, because show method in subclass is called as overridden method. System.out.println, I will write Java inheritance. Now, double A is the subclass, A is the superclass, but subclass method is called as overridden method. Similarly, I will take another class. Let A double A. Then void show. If I will write one output statement, let Java programming. So this method is also overridden method. And you see what I did. This is superclass. This is subclass. This is subclass. In subclass, double A show method is overridden method. In a double A class, show method is called as overridden method, because the method and its signature in superclass, the method and its signature in subclass is exactly same. Then coming to the main method. So in main method, so definitely I will take an object, but we have written the definition. Overridden method we will invoke, we will call by superclass reference. Suppose superclass A R, let AR is my reference. So whatever the method I will call, so that call I will do by superclass reference. Now suppose I will take three objects. A obj1 equals to new A, double A obj2 equals to new A, double A. Let obj3 equals to this. So what I did, three objects I declared: obj1, obj2, obj3. obj1 is the object of A class, obj2 is the object of double A class, obj3 is the object of triple A class. Now everything we will do with the help of reference, superclass reference. So what I will do, I will write R equals to obj1, then I will write R dot so. So now the reference referring to the obj1. obj1 is a type of object. So when this line will execute, so method will call by the reference R, then a class so method definition will execute. Java means Silan software. After executing that line, then I will release to R. How? Then I can write R equals to obj2. Then I will write R dot so method. R equal to obj2 means now the reference referring to obj2. obj2 is the object of double A class. So when this line will execute, so method definition will execute of double A class. Similarly, I will write R equals to obj3, then R dot so. So the reference referring to obj3 is the object of triple A class. So when R dot so that line will execute, this portion will execute Java program. So in this way, all method I will invoke or I called by the superclass reference. So with the help of a reference means the entire process. So control is everything, control is understanding at the runtime. So at the runtime means dynamic. So method is dispatching, method is invoking by the superclass reference. So it is understanding by the control the overall concept at the runtime. That's why it is called as dynamic. So method is able to display Java means Silan software. So method is able to display Java inheritance. So method is able to display Java programming. So now I will hit run. So we will get the output. You see, we got output Java means Silan software, Java inheritance and Java programming. So this is known as a dynamic method dispatch. Dynamic dispatch. We will go to the next point, that is abstract class. So basically abstract is a keyword. When a class is preceded by the keyword abstract is known as abstract class. An abstract class may contain abstract method or concrete method. So you remember, normal method we say concrete method. Whatever the methods we are defining inside a class, basically we say that is concrete method. But another point I wrote, abstract class is containing abstract method. So like class, we can represent method as abstract. Like class, we can declare a method as abstract, which is known as abstract method, So basically abstract method having no definition, or the method without body, the method having no body, that is called as also abstract method. Abstract method having no definition. Then if the method have no definition, we have known one method definition is representing a task. Without a method definition, a task we cannot represent. So it is mandatory that we have to define the method anyhow. But here the concept is saying abstract class, whatever we will declare, whatever we will represent. So particularly in this context, we will take abstract method. If abstract method we are taking, so we cannot define, but how that method I will define, because in programming method definition it is must. Otherwise a task we cannot represent. Then question is that abstract method, whatever I will represent inside the abstract class, how that method I will define. So this the abstract method we can define. The abstract method we can define by creating a new subclass. By creating a subclass. By creating a subclass. That means to define the abstract method that I will do inside a subclass, that subclass I will create. This point you remember. Then abstract class never instantiate. That means instantiate. That means we can't declare an object of abstract class. Abstract class never instantiate means it is not possible that we can create an object of abstract class. So we will see. It does not achieve 100% concept of abstraction, because abstract class may contain concrete method, may contain abstract method, so it is possible that we can define normal method also. If only abstract class contain abstract methods, then we can say that is achieving 100% concept of abstraction. But abstract class may contain concrete method, normal method we can define. So that's why I wrote this point. So some points that we have to know about Java abstract class. So now, I will go to the environment. Suppose let my file program name is suppose abstract example. So my file name will be abstract example.java. Let we have a class. Suppose arithmetic demo, let it. Some calculation I have to do. Let I will define a method calculate by taking one argument int x. Now this class I am representing as abstract class because I have written one point when a class I will preceded by the keyword abstract. So we can say that class is called as abstract class. Then we have written abstract class may contain abstract method. We will take an abstract method like class method. We can represent as abstract method which is also preceded by the keyword abstract. And the method having no definition. There is no curly bracket begin, curly bracket end. We will write some statements. So that is definition, but we cannot represent here. So now the calculate method is abstract method. The purpose is what? By taking this calculate method, I will perform multiple tasks. Same signature. Calculate method name calculate argument int x. By taking this signature, I will perform multiple tasks. Then some points we have written how an abstract method we are defining. So by creating a subclass, now I will create a subclass. Suppose I will create a class, suppose A extends arithmetic demo. Now this abstract method I can define inside a subclass. Now this method I can define, so I can write while I calculate int x. Suppose I want to find the square of a number, the cube of a number and the square root of a number. So I can write system.out.println x into x. This I can write also in this way, the square of x is this. So now this is the way that we can define an abstract method. Now my objective is by taking that method, by taking that particular signature, calculate method int x, so I can perform square of a value, square of a number, cube of a number, square root of a number. Let it. So now another test, suppose if I want to perform, so I will take another subclass extends arithmetic demo. So now I will define, so I can write the cube of x is this. You see, when I am defining the method, so there is no need to write abstract keyword. So at the time of definition, strictly speaking, if you don't, there is no need to specify the abstract keyword. Similarly, suppose if I want to find the square root of x, let it, suppose I will take another subclass extends arithmetic demo. Then the square root of x is math.sqrt of x. Sqrt is a built-in method which is directly invoking by the math class. So math class is coming from java.lang package. So that package we have to import in this way. So whatever the built-in class we were using immediately the corresponding package that we have to import. Otherwise, at the time of compilation, the compiler cannot understand. So in this way, an abstract method I defined. So this definition is representing square of x, this definition representing cube of x, this definition is representing square root of x. Objective is simple things, performing multiple tasks. So now we have written one point. Now coming to the main method, where we declare the object, but we have written abstract class never instantiate. We are not able to create an object of abstract class. So not an issue, because we have already 3 subclasses. So we can declare the objects of subclasses. So I can declare a obj1 equals to new a, b obj2 equals to new b, c obj3 equals to new c. Then obj1 dot calculate, suppose 2, because at the time of definition we have taken an int argument. So obj1 is the object of a class. When this line will execute, a class calculate method definition will execute. So 2 into 2, that is 4. The square of x is 4. Similarly, I can write obj2 dot calculate 3. So calculate method when it is invoking by obj2. Obj2 is the object of b class. So the control will go to b class calculate method definition. Now the value of x is 3. The cube of x is, so x is 3 into 3 into 3, that is 27. Similarly, after that, so I can write obj3 dot calculate, so 4. So when this line will execute, obj3 is the object of C class, then control will go to C class calculate method. So the square root of x is 2.0. So normally, if I will tell, by taking this method, one method and one argument, you cannot perform multiple tasks. But in this way, we can perform multiple tasks. Okay. So in this way, we can represent abstract class, we can represent abstract method, and how the abstract method we define by creating a subclass. So overall, we got the point. So now I will click on run. So we will see. So we will get the output. You see, we got the output. The square of x is 4, the cube of x is 27, the square root of x is 2.0. So happily we got the output, and here we got one point. So this concept is used for performing multiple tasks.